ethic is clear. There he was set down! Rolls the roof! Henry flexes on it.
Get around here. Give him the fist pump. He pumps and fist. This will be a 7.
You called it early, they have written him. Johnson just stayed at home. Had his hand on the ball.
Drive. Puts the shot up. How did he get that in? Good shot, 3 seconds. Molly Kendrick, turn away jumper. That is who you want to get the ball there.
Yep.
Oh! And that is your Kodak moment.
There he goes.
And welcome back to Premier League action here at St Francis de Sales. The Eastern Mavericks taking on the Mount Gambier Pioneers, round 10. With big thank you to Space Quake Sports. It is going to be an absolute epic matchup here. The Pioneers travelling up here to Mount Barker. Going to be a big game, Benito.
It's a massive game for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. It's a battle of the two mounts. It's country basketball at its best, brought to you at the brand spanking new St Francis de Sales College. And it's an exciting encounter. We've got two massive teams, both looking to get some wins on the board.
With Mount Gambier dropping their game last night to the Southern Tigers, they'll want to get at least one win out of this trip up here. Now, they are sitting in 4th place, only really by percentage. They are an absolutely well-drilled, well-skilled team. Obviously, we know the successes of the Mount Gambier Pioneers. For anybody who followed the Seaboard in any capacity over the last, golly, 6-7 years, they've been absolutely the epitome of league basketball around the country. So they've brought a lot over here to the Premier League, and we are expecting a big game from them tonight.
Yeah, for sure. But the Pioneers are missing 2 of their best players this week. Eric Burden would have been great to watch during this live stream.
He's one of the smoothest players you'll ever see. Easy Eric Burden. He's just, he'll be definitely missed tonight.
Yeah, and Sam Daly as well, not suiting up tonight. But his brother is Tom Daly, the former 36, the 2012 Wollacott medalist. He's spent time in the Premier League, and he's back this year with the Pioneers, who he's played for since 2013.
Yeah, he's had a long career over there in Mount Gambier. He's averaging 5 assists a game, so this we'll see him throwing the ball around a lot, doing the Tom Daly things that we'd seen him do for a very long time as a Sixers development player, as you say, and as well in the Premier League when he was here in SA. So an exciting game, exciting matchup. We're going to see some big-time stuff from exciting basketball from the Mavs, especially from Brandon Morris, who's averaging 27 points per game at the moment. So he's really lining it up.
A phenomenal basketballer, Brandon Morris, coming out of Benedict College in America. He averaged 18 points in 2 consecutive seasons, won a Player of the Year for the whole conference. And Brandon Morris, a quality basketballer that just brings so much talent. And we watch him just slam down a windmill dunk. I just want to see that again tonight.
And that's just in warm-up. So that if he's throwing him down with windmills in the warm-ups, it's going to be, we're going to be warmed up well and truly here in the crowd as well. So
yeah.
the crowd really doing quite a good job. They're piling in. They're ready for a big game here in the Mount. That's going to be a big matchup with the Mavericks taking on the Pioneers.
Another man who can get up, Devin McGee. He'll be worth watching today. Quality basketballer, a Mavericks local, be worth watching. And
expecting some showtime tonight, to be honest with you. I'm watching these warm-ups. There's a lot of intensity on both ends. I know warm-ups you really can take with a grain of salt, but what you put into training, what you put into warm-ups, you take into the game, and both teams are going hard and just getting ready for a big game. Yeah,
and another man worth mentioning before we do tip off is Kentrell Barkley for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. He played in the G League last year for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, and that is no easy feat. He played in multiple matches, comes down to Mount Gambier and has been a star for the Pioneers this season.
And that's a massive get too for the Pioneers. So bringing in a player of that caliber with that experience in the G League, I mean, there's no mugs playing over in the G League, that's for sure. That's your stepping stone. You're this close from making an NBA roster at any moment of time. So to be over here in the Premier League is a massive get, a huge get, not just for the Pioneers, but for the Premier League as well.
Absolutely, and he has pulled down 15 rebounds a game so far. Standing 6'5" tall, just 22 years of age as well, quite young. So definitely a long future ahead of him in the game. But we're about to tip off, and it's an exciting encounter. We'll see plenty of basketball, and the Mavs, who are only 2-7 for the season, definitely are worth the shout in this encounter without the likes of Eric Burden and Sam Daly suiting up for the Pioneers. They did come off a loss last night. As we said, the Southern Tigers getting the better of the Pioneers down at Morpeth Vale. And that was off the back of a massive performance from Calvin Turnage. He had 32, and that's mammoth in a night like that.
Which is huge for CJ, absolutely. Now with Daly and Burton out of the lineup, we'll see a bit of a different starting five for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. Lockie Hunter, Tom Daly, Brad Rathjen, Contrell Barkley and Dajar Dixon lining up there in the starting five. And for the Eastern Mavericks, Novian Cherry, Daniel Stock, Sebastian Bold, Devon McGee and Brandon Morris rounding out the starting five for the Mavs.
And you just see the height on the likes of Dajar Dixon and Brandon Morris. Both stand well over 200 centimetres. Dixon 206 according to the internet, but he looks pretty even on Morris. As we tip off, we're on the way, and that's Seb Bold getting us going, and Morris trying to get it to Cherry. The American guard has been a revelation for the Mavs this year as well. Nice pass to McGee. McGee, strong on the interior, gets the first points of the match.
Nice feed from Daniel Stock. Finding the man down low. He's going to be pretty tough to stop tonight. And Lockie Hunter's going to have his work cut out for him, that's for sure. Barkley moves middle.
Yeah, good move inside. And it's a high percentage shot from Lockie Hunter.
And there's the opposite number. Put the pressure on your own offensive end and make McGee work for his points as well.
And can Morris shoot a three? He won't need to. He pushes inside. Look at the strength on him. Couldn't quite get his geography right with the shot. And almost losing the ball there is Barkley, but he still gets the shot to go.
You can feel something building there, just losing the handle, hitting the ball against the hip, but still a good move.
And no sight on the pass there from Stock. He wasn't looking. He zigged when Morris put the pass on.
And he should have zagged, right?
He should have just stood still probably and looked at the ball.
Don't zig or zag, just stay there. So he pulls up from the elbow, just rims out, rebounded, and away they go through Novian Cherry.
And Cherry driving. The only verified player in the Premier League puts the razzle dazzle on. Novian Cherry. And I say verified on Instagram. Daly with the response.
End-to-end stuff. We knew this was going to be an exciting encounter between the Pioneers and the Mavs, and we are getting exactly that. And Daly almost strips the ball away from Daniel Stock, and it just falls out of bounds before he was able to gather.
Stock will have his hands full marking Daly. Daly, as we said, one of the best players in the competition. Just a general. The guy that leads his side so well, has so much experience in both the Seagull and the Premier League. As we see the pass inside, Morris loses it. And the intense clapping of Dajar Dixon kind of tells us where that's going. Stays in the hands of the Mavs though this time. Novian Cherry, as we said, he's been playing pretty well this season, averaging four plus assists a game. And although he hasn't got his shooting radar just on just yet, he's such a big help into the team, and Morris gets the foul called on him.
Daly is not happy about the foul, but I think from our angle where we are just in the corner, there was certainly a bit of contact on the arm causing that ball to come free. So I don't think he's got much to argue about there, but we'll have to cop it on the chin nonetheless.
And look at that, the pass into Bold. Bold doesn't fall, and a strong rebound from Daly. Plenty of height in these two starting fives. Daly probably the shortest on the court. Still nads that one.
I think we get him up back to back with Daniel Stock, and they're probably almost on par, that's for sure, for height differential. Pioneers will be inbound from the baseline. A great connection on the shot from Contrell Barkley. Gets the and one, and we'll skip to the foul line to push this lead out to 5 points for the Pioneers. And he was very happy with that. And certainly makes it count. And control there with Brandon Morris, leading the league in points per game. He makes his way to the foul line.
Got stripped there. And we're talking about the Mavericks. They've got these two-gun imports in Brandon Morris and Novian Cherry, but they also have a great core of youngsters coming through. You have the likes of Dev McGee, who's I think 22, like his number says. And Seb Bold, Daniel Stock, Seb Botzo as well. They're all young players, and they're just working their way into this lineup and building the Mavs for the future, which is what they really need to do, because in the past 5 years, they haven't been as good as past years, and they're just really working for something bigger than what is in front of them today.
And then that's certainly right in the growth aspect of the league as well. So I mean, the league is getting better and bigger and stronger, just like Deja Dixon, straight to the basket, nice and strong, and one, and he will head to the foul line to make this one a 3-point play.
Quite a strong name, Deja Dixon.
Deja, it is.
Knows what he's doing. Oh, strong rebound by Morris.
And cops the foul.
But an exciting encounter is sure to unfold throughout the next 37 minutes of this one. We've had a fast start by the Pioneers. They're out to a 11-4 lead.
And now
that's strong from Morris. Working.
Morris.
And he goes again. Brandon Morris.
And that's why he's leading the league in points. He is just a tyrant down there, and with Cottrell going back to the back, straight down the other end, putting the points on the board and answering that of Brandon Morris.
And Morris now has a go at it again. He's got Dixon on him this time. Steps inside, steps out, and gives it to Bold. Bold looking inside. Morris working with strength. Jerry can't nab that. And this is Barkley breaking again. Look at the pace on him. Devon was ready to slam that out of the stadium, but a foul was called before that.
Just trying to cut him off there to make sure there was no N1 this occasion. Daniel Stock taking the foul. And Control Barkley skips the line for 2 shots. Normally a 75% free throw shooter, so that one just rimming out. You expect this one to go in, which it does not. That was probably my fault.
And now Gambier showing early that the Mavs are going to have to work for every defensive rebound, really pushing inside, trying to get those second chance points.
As a shot from Sebastian Bold, knocked away by Control Barkley. They've got something off the ball. Foul being called there on Devon McGee by referee Daniel Troy.
And looking to inbound is Daly. Sorry, not Daly. Brad Rathjen. And that shot goes though from Lockie Hunter, hits his second of the day. And all of a sudden a 9-point lead for the for the Pioneers, I should say.
They've really been in control in this first 4 minutes of the first quarter.
And another pass with the player not looking. Stock and Bold failing to combine.
It is a bit quiet out there on court. You would expect if Stock is going to run the point and he's going to make passes and make sure the offense is set up, then the voice has got to be there with it.
And he's got to be patient as well, I think. As well.
Especially in the first quarter, where things are just getting set up.
The shot looks neat from Rathjen. Doesn't quite fall. And Cherry will bring it up. Cherry looking for options. Passes this way, passes that way. And now Bold puts up the 3. The tray not falling. And bringing it back up with intention. That's great basketball.
Daly really motoring that one down the court. Great finish from Lockie Hunter. This is going to be a problem for the Mavs if this continues.
Stock. Kind of trapped in the corner a bit. He's going to have to step out, free some players up, gives it to Morris. He's the man you want on the ball. Working inside with about 4 Pioneers on him. The ref doesn't want to hear any more talking.
It's all a little bit of fun spirit of the game, but you certainly don't want to let it get out of control. So look, certainly worth the warning, but just making sure that things don't get out of hand early. But he's a competitor. He's an absolute competitor, Brandon Morris, and matched up against Deja Dixon. I'm sure these two will have a bit of fun throughout the game.
You'd certainly hope so. We saw last night James Lee didn't get ejected for a couple of texts for talking back to referees and being a bit too loud. So you just don't want to see that again. And Lockie Hunter again proving that he is worthy of this starting five position in the absence of Burden and Daly. Great basketball from the big man. And the offensive goal.
May not have been set on the on the screen there from Devin McGee, unfortunately. So taking the offensive foul, doesn't seem to be too upset about it. So I think he may know that was the situation down the baseline. That was very close to being cross court, but Daly goes straight to the basket. He gets hammered. 2 hands. Brandon Morris smacks it down on top of Daly. The ball going back onto Daly while Daly was out of court. Mavs ball. Massive defensive play from Brandon Morris.
The deliberate Falcon. Here he is on the other end. Morris getting the fans to their feet. Here's McGee working. Nice pass inside Cherry. Gets him in the air and gets that one.
Exciting basketball from the Eastern Mavericks. This is what you come to see here at St. Francis de Sales. This is the Eastern Mavericks. They may be 2-7, but really they are a team that is certainly worthy of more wins than what they've accumulated this season so far.
We're hearing a lot from that referee in the corner.
Yeah, referee Daniel Troy. He's been around a long time. He's definitely a well-experienced,
well-respected referee. He knows what he's doing.
He does, and he has a very neat goatee, and he'll love me in saying that too.
When he listens back, watches his refereeing, sees how well he did, he'll hear that and be happy. And Barkley decides not to pass, drives inside himself, nice floater, doesn't go in. Morris snaps up the rebound. Mavs looking likely all of a sudden. And the pass out. Fakes it, puts it up, and nothing but net. Matthews Stock. Count it. That's a great way to make your entrance into the match.
That's not bad at all. Just pump fake, getting the defender off of his feet, and then just readjusting and taking a very, very nice two-point shot. Daly moving it around, finding Lockie Hunter at the top of the key, and why not? That's Daly's turn to put some cash in the bank. The banks were closed earlier on Sunday, apparently, but now, according to just then, they are back open again. I guess you can do anything, electronic transfer these days. Yeah. But a great shot from Tom Daly.
Daly using the PayPal method. Stock from a long way out. Hits the top of the backboard, and that'll be Pioneer's possession.
Well, if you can't invest in cash, you can invest in stock. And the stock at that time didn't quite pay off, unfortunately. That's as much about finance as I know. And that probably didn't really make any sense either, as the Pioneers take control of this one. Tom Daly moving the ball up court.
Might get an investor on at halftime to kind of explain it a bit better, but we've got. I
think my 6-year-old could probably explain it better than I could.
And pushing inside, that's nice from Ratchin. Clean basketball from the former North Iowa College alumni. I guess it's not former if he's an alumni. But Morris now gives it to Cherry. Cherry looking to work things out. And now Morris posting up on Barkley. He does have the height on him, and he has the height on Hunter. Gets the points to count. Brandon Morris looking likely early on.
Tom Daly taking advantage of some very sloppy defense in the forward half from Matt Stock. Fast break layup, all of a sudden he was gone in the blink of an eye.
That's so smart from Daly. Here's McGee sizing up Hunter. And Cherry with the pirouette. Rosie and Cherry pleasing his 59,000 Instagram followers.
And from the looks of that, Lockie Hunter has stepped on the line to make his inbound pass, and that is a turnover, Mavs ball.
The worst of amateur mistakes there for Hunter, and he gets dragged to the bench.
He will be upset. Richard Hill, a very, very, very accredited coach who's been around a long time, not only Premier League-wise, but NBL as well as an assistant coach. He would not be impressed with that.
Stock with the nice look, but doesn't fall. Daly goes up, and foul is called. He'll go to the line. He's looked lively early on, really leading this side.
Well, in the absence of two absolute stars in Sam Daly and Eric Burden, he's a star in his own right, but realistically from what they need from Tom Daly, they need to double his output. And really what we've seen in the first 8 minutes of this game, he has certainly delivered.
And one of the few players in the Premier League with a Wikipedia page. So Tom Daly definitely showcasing his worth.
I made that earlier for him.
downtown Alan Brown.
Well, you know, just spreading the love too.
By the end of this, we might have a few more Wikipedia pages up and going.
We'll have to get one up for Sam because otherwise he'll get awful jealous. I mean, I'm a brother, so you know, that's just, you got to have it even. You can't just do one for the other.
Yeah, understandable. Here's Stock looking to run things while his brother's on the bench. Nice pass inside, doesn't really work out, but they'll keep possession. Rolling out of bounds was Matt Black.
As McCoy checks in for the Mount Gambier Pioneers, Brad Rathjen taking a seat. And just a side note to this one as well, with McCoy, just hang on to yourselves. He is an excitement machine, so we'll see some extreme athleticism here. So just keep an eye on young Malak.
Nice moves. Oh, gets him inside, weaving through. What a play! Unbelievable, Tom Cromartie.
Crossed over and goes straight past McCoy. I may have to sort of mention, keep an eye on him offensively because he got absolutely lost. He was all at sea. Great crossover straight through to the basket. Left, right, and straight back over. A little bit of a screen, so there was a bit of awareness there, but just beautiful crossover. Tim Hardaway-esque, he would have been very, very proud. Misses the and one, and Pioneers will take this one away. Tom Daly kicking it wide, and into the low post. And a travel called under Jar Dixon. Points will not count. Would have been the first dunk of the afternoon, but it was not to be. Mavs controlling this one through their skipper and Matt Stock. Not a great pass at all. This could be some highlight reel stuff. If layups are your thing, great finish there from from Control Barkley. Could have had a little bit of ease off on the defense just to give us something for this first quarter, but the points counted nonetheless. Into the post. Cherry's working against Malak.
And
he manages his way through.
Deja Dixon's arm was on him and on the ball as well, but he gets called.
I don't think he was happy about that call. I think he might have got a lot more ball than what was seen by the referee.
And your man with the goat, he put his hand up, telling him to stay quiet.
It's probably very wise advice when you're getting a little bit upset on a call, because it can escalate pretty quickly.
It's true, but it's probably not something you want to hear from the referee who called it. Almost gets you more frustrated. As an experienced basketball player myself.
As an experienced tech foulerer, or maybe?
I've got one tech.
Got one.
Kick the chair.
Well, that's how you want to do it, but kicking it down the court, Tom Daly moving the ball rapidly again, trying to find his way to the basket. Dumped it back out. Matthew Black loses control of the ball. Mavs in the breakaway. Great vision. Oh, and go to the finish. Cherry! The cherry on top. Great movement from the Mavs as we have a player down behind play. And it is Brandon Morris, who's not looking very happy. Looks a little bit proppy. And he'll just head to the bench to be assessed.
Hopefully nothing too wrong, but awesome passing by Jonchuk as well. And all of a sudden, the Mavs working their way around to the basket in a much neater fashion. They trail by 8, 21 to 29, but really showing their offensive capability. They just need to start on defense. McCoy looking for options, gives it back out. It is Rathjen. Rathjen steps out, gives it, kicks it, and the shot doesn't fall. Matt Black.
Offensive rebound. There we go.
And fighting hard. Gets the pass. Rathjen in the right place. Gives it to Barkley. Sizes it up and gets it in. Saw Matt Stock standing in his way and thought, I've got you. And the pass over. McGee will put this down. And gives McCoy a bit as well on the way back.
They absolutely lost him in the grey background, I think, of the wall there behind the basket, but they just had no idea where McGee was. Very poor checking from the Pioneers. They're trying to get it back now again, though.
Time runs out for the Pioneers. And an entertaining first term. We saw 54 points scored in 10 minutes. It's 23 to 31, and really Pioneers opened up early, but the Mavs did fight back.
It's been a very entertaining first quarter, something that's really set the tone early. With we're going to have a very good afternoon here. Realistically, we're looking at 4th versus 9th, but it could be 1st versus 2nd, the way you're looking at these two teams going at it.
And some of the imports standing up tall. Barkley with 9 points early on, 4 from 5 from the field. Novian Cherry, 9 points as well. He's 100% from the field. Brandon Morris looked good as well. He did come off with the injury, but you hope he's all right because he's such a dynamic player to watch.
He's not getting any treatment over on the bench, so it might have just been a bit of a knock or something quite minor, but he will surely be back out in the second quarter to wreak some more havoc as he has in the first.
And of course, Hunter as well, Lachlan Hunter, looking lethal inside. He hit 4 field goals as well, 4 from 4. And really a nice alternative option for the Pioneers to go to.
And leading the way with their skipper in Tom Daly, 8 points and a couple of assists already. Going along with with a couple of rebounds as well for the little fella. He's not the biggest boy going around, but he'll get up there and get some rebounds. He's got some great athleticism.
And interestingly enough, 20 of the 23 points scored by the Mavs have come from inside the paint. So a lot of work being done on the inside by the likes of Cherry and Morris, and a bit from Devin McGee as well. We saw that spectacular dunk earlier.
It can be very dangerous when looking at that sort of how many points have been scored in the paint that they haven't really needed to go outside yet. And realistically, there are 8 points in arrears, but really they've got every opportunity to start knocking them down from outside as soon as they get that chance to do so. Where they need to, they will use it, but they've been managing very well inside the paint. As we're almost getting set for the restart here at St. Francis de Sales. Eastern Mavericks trailing the Mount Gambier Pioneers by 8 points. It's been a really big, entertaining first quarter. We hope that this will continue into the second quarter. We've seen a bit of chatter between Dejar Dixon and Brandon Morris. That's been tried to have been extinguished by the referee on a few occasions, but we. From a sheer spectating point of view, we hope that continues in the most light-hearted of ways, for sure. But a couple of competitors, I'm sure they can't help themselves.
Yeah, you don't want to see too many technicals going on, but you just love to see the passion from the players.
And I'm sure we've got some very experienced referees out there today, so they'll let whatever needs to be let go, and anything out untoward they certainly won't. As McCoy brings it back around.
Shot selection. Good shot selection from Ratchin, I was going to say. And now McGee breaks. He's got space. Can he go up? He does, but doesn't slam it down. He chooses the wise option to lay it up. Doesn't want to put himself on a poster anytime soon.
He got pretty well up there. He was floating through the air in great composure to finish.
That's nice inside from McCoy. That is out. But both teams looking to attack the interior with intent.
As Daly checks back in for the Pioneers, he's going to be playing just about every minute he possibly can tonight.
Well, they've brought across a contingent of 9 players from Mount Gambier for the match last night and the match today. They'll look to spread it as much as they can, but 2 games in 2 days can be tiring. And the Pioneers have to make sure they stick their lead as long as they can, because you might see fatigue play a factor towards the end of this match.
You're going to be really crucial to build as much of a lead as they can, especially up to half-time. If their legs start to go from the tough encounter last night against Southern Tigers, then it could be difficult for them in that second half. As we see Brandon Morris taking that step back, pull-up jump shot with the left hand, does not go in, and they take it away. They're running again. And they're going to reset that shot clock on the foot violation. No, they do not. They're leading it at 22, but they're full of runs still in this second quarter.
Smart from Morris there too to stop the fast break. I think if it had gotten past him, it would have been just about a sure conversion for the Pioneers. Clean coming from outside. Daly doesn't go. Ratchin will look to dagger that one back inside. And working inside is Deja. Just posts up fiercely. The flow doesn't fall, but the strong offensive rebound and stripped away. Yonchuk gets a hand in there, but it will remain in the hands of the Pioneers with 13 on the shot clock.
Great hands from John Kittu. That was certain 2 points after the real tough offensive rebound from Barkley. And the kick back from Daly.
And defensive.
Points waved away, pushed off with the elbow. Offensive foul called on DJ Dixon.
And we should take a second to admire the Pioneers kids. You don't often see a green in the league.
But the girls' game, really, like, it's just a nice little like the guidelines of green along the outside really kind of framed up the uniform nicely. But it's not easy being green, as Kermit the Frog famously said. But they're making it look pretty easy tonight. 8 points up just into this second quarter. There's denial from Lockie Hunter. Gets straight back to McGee.
And he does it again, Lockie Hunter. 2 consecutive huge plays.
What a mountain to try and get over. I tell you what, Lockie Hunter really nailing down that low post position against the taller and look, McGee is an absolute star. So that's some great defensive work from Lockie Hunter.
And looking to bring in Cherry for this important inbound with 5 on the clock. He brings it in, gives it to Stock. Stock has a few seconds. How does he get it through there? I'm not sure. But he would go to the line for 2. Worked well to find himself some space where there wasn't really any.
And he'll skip along to the line to bring this back to a 6-point ball game. And they're doing the right thing there and getting back on defense quickly. And they've learnt from a couple of burns by Tom Daly.
Nice pass outside. Rathjen works it to the height of Deja Dixon. Oh, this is Barkley, apologies. And he puts it in over Cherry. Strong play from the G League graduate.
He wanted that back quite quickly. He posted up on nobody and then realised he didn't have anybody on him on the low post and wanted to back very, very quickly, taking great advantage of that.
Stock wants the shot, dribbles around, chooses the right option in McGee, and his shot over the top of Hunter goes this time. And you can count that. A 7-point lead for the Pioneers continues.
Rasmus swinging it around. Oh, great pass inside from Lockie Hunter, and it just rims out. Offensive rebound by Barkley, and that one misses as well. This one's going to be saved. Great save by Brandon Morris.
Showing the athleticism, no hindrance of an injury.
And away come the Mavs into Cherry. He dumps it into Morris, but gets it back. That does not load in from Cherry, so he'll step to the line for 2 shots. We've picked up another gear, I think, here at St. Francis de Sales.
Yeah, a few trips to the line. Definitely keeping the points flowing with 7 minutes remaining in this term. But a chance to cut the deficit to 5 when it really looks dangerous for the Mavericks at one stage in that first term. Nice fight back, although that was very close to being an airball foul shot there, so I think he's a bit far back behind the foul line there, but he'll make this one count. Hungry Jacks on the line here. No Hungry Jacks for the spectators around the stadium.
If anybody has any chips, that would be nice. So, if you don't mind, but that's fine.
We see Votso come back on, or come on for the first time. And here's McCoy. And inside, sensational reverse layup from Barkley, doesn't go.
But how about the look? The look from Lockie Hunter. It's one thing to have a competent big that can do the basics, score under the basket, get your rebounds. But then you look at a player like Lockie Hunter who can shoot from range and just throw out dimes like they're nothing.
And steal, Daly pushes it up and lays it in.
Read that like my first alphabet book. Quick, easy, and just threw it in no time. So we have timeout here at St. Francis de Sales. It is still around about, it's not an 8-point lead still for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. They've kept that consistently throughout this game so far. Getting a lead is one thing and maintaining it is certainly another. So the words from the Mount Gambier coach: continue to pressure the ball, move those players around and get that interception pass. lock them away and get that ball back every time. And the court sweepers next to us having a wonderful time, trying to kill each other with a court sweeper.
Yeah, you can see it just in the corner of the screen there. Just spinning it around, playing a bit of helicopter with it. And there was a stage where they needed the court sweeper and they just were enjoying
They were
themselves.
busy over there cleaning
the
the one spot. There's a very, very clean spot of the court, which is off the court here at the main court of St. Francis. So
you can see our producer running back around the corner there.
in a beautiful
where we're sitting.
salmon peach. It's a peach shirt. I think it's a peach. Or maybe like a terracotta. That's a bit dark for terracotta.
A bit peach. I'd say peaches.
We painted the house recently, so I've memorised the Bunnings paint chart. So
yeah,
no, probably a peach. Maybe a nectarine. No, that's gone the wrong way. He didn't have the cans on, so he had no idea what we were talking about, which is certainly fine because
we don't want him to know. We don't want him to know. But we're almost back. We are back on the way. Cherry brings it into Matt's stock, and this is the chance for the Mavs to really bring it close at half time. Got Vosel on court now, and McGee. McGee standing at the charity stripe, wants the movement, and he gets it finally from Stock. Stock pushes around, puts up the floater. Cherry gets the Falcon, but works it out, and the shot doesn't fall strong from Stock, but he draws the foul. Gives it away.
He's showing the referee he had hands on the ball, but I think when you grab the arm first, young Matt, I think that's going to be a foul on you, unfortunately.
Yeah, the correct call there, although Jason Warhurst doesn't look too happy about it. Rathjen standing at the top, and Barkley kicks it to McCoy. McCoy puts up the J, and that doesn't go in either. The rebound grabs by Cherry, and the Mavs are going to reply here. Looking around, Botto gives it to Cherry. Cherry gets inside, works his way around 3-4 players, and gets it in.
Sweet, like a pip in a Cherry in the middle of the pack there, just pops it right up. Great finish.
And now Gambier trying to respond now. Gives it to McCoy. He's seen plenty of it in his time on court. And now Daly, what can he do? Gives it inside, and Hunter denied there. Might have been a hand on there by McGee. But here's Cherry, bring it up. He's been good this match. Gives it to Stock. Stock has the open three, pulls up, launches it. Doesn't sink, and Daly bringing it back up. He brings it up quickly with intent. Tries to get past Bozo and puts it off the backboard. Tom Daly.
And he knows it too. That was a spectacular fall-away shot. You look at that as a prayer shot, but he does it in training. He will do it every day of the week. Perfect control.
And McGee now in that similar space at the top of the key. Gives it to Morris. Morris posts up and loses it at the bottom of his lift, and he's Rathjen running away with it. And the and one. It was all Rathjen coming up that court.
End-to-end stuff from Rathjen. Gets the strip and runs it down court. This is what we talk about when we're looking at the Mount Gambier Pioneers, that they will run all day.
And Morris pointing, wiping his face. Looked like he was in a bit of discomfort after the strip. He did have 4 players around him. Wouldn't be surprised if a hand kind of poked him in the eye or something like that. But Rathjen makes the points count, brings it out to an 11-point lead for the Pioneers, and all of a sudden they're back into a comfortable state.
Yeah, well, you've got 2 eyes there. If you lose one, then you get a patch and look cool like Nick Fury.
Well, we've seen James Harden playing with an eye that looks completely red in the playoffs, and Vosso almost loses it. Probably a good thing he didn't go up, because McCoy would have sent him back to preschool. They lose possession anyway.
And the Pioneers take control once again. Has a look at the 3-point shot. Rathjen kicks it back out to McCoy. He goes with a floater baseline off the front of the rim. Goes back for the offensive rebound, but does not complete it. And Mavs will take this one away.
Yeah, here's Vosso driving inside and gets called for the offensive. It might have been
McGee with the who was setting a screen but might not have been there right in time to make that an effective screen. Called for the offensive foul, and he's not happy about it at all.
And coming back on the step bold, sporting some 80s style bangs as well.
Whatever works for him, wouldn't work for me, but some people can pull it off, and I'm certainly not one of them.
Hunter pulls it, turns around and sinks it. Hunter looking lethal from mid-range.
That 10 to 12 foot jumper is just bread and butter. It's Dirk Nowitzki-like.
Here's Stock looking to respond. They need to respond. gives it to Cherry. That's the man to go to, and he finds space again in between two players. So good at his body control to get himself in the right space, put the awareness on. Daly with the float, it doesn't go, but Deja Dixon tips it back in. And a 13-point margin, looking difficult for the Mavericks.
Real strong presence under the basket there, Joe Dixon, pardon me. As Cherry drives baseline, kicks it back out, finds its way to Daniel Stock from long range off the side of the rim, and Daly with another rebound. He is really pushing that ball up court fast. He's going straight through the keyway. He's going to lay it in. He's going to get blocked.
Oh, and stolen.
He's going to get blocked massively. Brandon Morris, Cherry. Oh,
no! No chance!
Dead.
I'm fainting.
Dead. Sit.
Shut it down. Finish the league.
Close
Turn off
the
the
door.
live stream.
That's it. I'm out.
It's over.
That's it. Dave's passed out behind us. I don't even know what happened.
Unbelievable. They got the massive block from Morris. It came up. Cherry thought he had all the time in the world, and it was sent into the wall. There's a hole in the wall if you look just next to the photographer there.
That ball will not bounce right now. There will be Dejar Dixon's handprint on that Spalding basketball. That was enormous.
Nearly took out the photographer on that block.
He's a tough man.
Sensational.
Young Kelly there on the baseline. He'll live to fight another day.
Yeah, here's Morris though, looking to respond. Oh, that's delicious. Brandon Morris.
We are at an absolute basketball feast here this afternoon at San Francis de Sales. Blocks, dunks, three-point plays, you name it, we have had it. One heck of an exciting afternoon up here in Mount Barker. As Brandon Morris heads to the line for the and one. And not connecting on the and one on that occasion.
Yeah.
Daly moving the ball back up court again, going fast to the reverse. Spectacular play, Tom Daly.
Big time play, Tom Daly working it, winding back the clock to his days in the red and blue of the 36ers. Morris looking to respond. How good was that from Daly though? He gets it. He got to the line again after missing that one.
He looked like he was going to get stuck there for a moment. He's just gone in with a big step, floating through the air, up the other way, and with the reverse, absolutely magic stuff from the skipper of Mount Gambier. They'll name a street after him for that, just for that one play.
Daly Lane.
Actually, I like that. Daly Lane, you want Daly Road, because Daly Lane, that's just perfect. And a basketball reference, which I just got. Thank you. Brandon Morris to the stripe. Connects on the first.
Sweat literally dripping from his face right now. You can see it drip.
He's almost like Aquaman. He's got that much.
But at least he's got drip on his possessions as well. He's playing quality basketball. But here's Deja Dixon playing up high. Ratchin drives with speed and he gets past the Mavericks defenders too slow there. You see Warhurst just cold the tee and he's just not happy with how they're performing. Jason Warhurst, the long-time coach of the Eastern Mavericks.
Getting those boys back in, I think he's doing that not just for the players to bring them in to have a bit of a chat about the fact that they've now let this one get out to a 13-point lead, but for all of us here just to take a collective breath. That was an exciting 4 or 5 minutes of basketball there, end-to-end action. And just everything you want to see. Speed has been the key for this game that we have seen so far from Mount Gambier. And hats off to their coaching and fitness staff. Having to play two games on a weekend. Coming here today from playing last night down at Morpeth Vale and still providing this kind of level of basketball. And they are just running the court, running. They have not stopped running. I wish we had a GPS tracker on Tom Daly, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's been sensational, really. He's almost filling the void of himself and his brother tonight. Just really working with poise control, body awareness, and his work inside has been against much bigger opponents. It's just been so good.
How many minutes has Tom played there so far in this game? He's had 16 out of a possible 20 minutes.
Well, 18 minutes, we haven't finished the quarter.
That's exactly right. That's not quite updated as at this stage. We're looking at 18 minutes, and he's going to probably finish that off too. He's had about 30 seconds off the court in this quarter. I think he started off.
Yep. And he came on after
And he
30
came on.
seconds.
So he had his 2-minute break in between. So he knows how to get the most out of his body. He's been around a long time. He's an absolute professional, as you would expect to come from the young man. That's for sure.
As you were saying, the Mavs need a response.
We spoke about it in the last game where the last 2 minutes are going to be super important leading to halftime. There's a shot from downtown. Sebastian Bald. Exactly what they needed. Big shot at a big moment in the game.
Yeah, brings it back to 10 points. And speaking of 10, that's Rathjen with the ball now. Rathjen driving around, steps back to the J. It's clean. Silky smooth from Brad Rathjen.
That was awful pretty. That was just absolutely beautiful. The step back and the sweet as you like finish.
Oh, here's Morris down there! Put it away, Brandon Morris!
Woo. They felt that one in Lobethal. That was a rattler, big time.
They breed them different in country basketball. The pass out, here's Rathjen again. We saw him make a nice move before, but driving instead. Stop start from Matt Black.
Kicks it back out to a 10-point lead. Cherry swinging it outside. And just catching a bit of a hand on the arm, Thomas, from Artie. And so the Mavs will take this one back. And in fact, he'll head to the foul line as the Pioneers are certainly over the limit, so he'll take 2 bonus free throws.
Important points here too, with just a minute remaining in the half. If they can keep the margin within 10, they're within reach, to put it simply. Here's Daly driving again with speed. So much time on the ball for Daly. And he might get it again here at the corner. Doesn't. Here's Deja Dixon out to Daly. Daly with the smooth jumper, doesn't go. Cherry nabs the rebound and they've got possession, the Mavericks. This is important.
They want to take every second off the clock they can, just to limit the amount of time that the Pioneers will have in the last possession. Then why would you want to bother waiting when you can just do that? Brandon Morris with the flush. And the shot clock and game clock almost in sync. They throw it into Deja Dixon, who almost throws it away, and good gather from Daly, but threw it away anyway.
Oh, and stolen back.
Who is that? I don't know what's going on.
Matt Black gives it out. His Rathjen decides to go for the 3 on his own. Doesn't follow the tip in from Deja. Dixon doesn't either. And what an end to the half. We get to see that dunk now. The pass inside, and Morris just feels it.
Just nice clinical flush finish from Brandon Morris there for the Mavs. So that is the end of the first half here at St. Francis de Sales. It feels like it's gone through almost an entire game. We have seen absolutely everything, from blocks to dunks. It's been magic, fast pace. We're looking forward to a great second half coming up really soon. And welcome back to you all, wherever you're watching around the place on Facebook and YouTube. You're here at St. Francis de Sales, as you can see from the wonderful pictures, the beautiful, clear, crystal clear pictures from our State Technics and Acker and Blint there. Round 10 Premier League action. We've seen the first half here between the Eastern Mavericks and Mount Gambier Pioneers, and we are looking at a 9-point lead, an 8-point lead, I should say, for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. How about those pictures from the State Technics and Acker and Blint?
I can see my light blue ute there as well.
I know I parked somewhere in that car park, but I couldn't see it in that picture. I might just nip out to the car park and have a look. No, I'm sure it's still there. Absolutely fine. Beautiful pictures there from the State Technics and Acker and Blint poles flying it earlier. But we've got a big second half coming up very, very soon. 30 seconds away from restarting this one, and it's been an absolute classic.
An absolute cracker, and sensational plays all around from the Mavericks and the Pioneers. It's been something to watch and something to savour. How impressive was it seeing Brandon Morris just slam 2 dunks down consecutive, and the blocks as well, incredible. And we're just going to see more of it.
And the crowd seemed to be in an absolutely just a fun mood. We just saw a bit of a pan of the crowd before. Everyone's happy and waving and cheering and laughing along. They are really having a good time and really seeing some great basketball here as well. Leading the way for both teams on the score sheet. We've got Brandon Morris with 16 points. He's got a few rebounds and block shots in there as well. Novian Cherry's been massive for the Eastern Mavericks and has kept them right in it. He's 2 rebounds away from a double-double. He's got 14 points, 8 rebounds, and a couple of assists. I'd like to bring attention to, I mean, we've got the Mount Gambier Pioneers leading scorers. Tom Daly's leading the way with 14, and Contrell Barkley has 13 points. Lockie Hunter has been massive in this game for Mount Gambier. Not only has he got 10 points registered on the scoreboard, 4 rebounds as well, but those points that he has scored have come 5 from 6. And one of them was a drive baseline that was blocked away. So we've got 5 shots, bang, 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 from 12, 10 feet, something like that, and it's just been knocking them down like it's just a shot glass full of water.
Well, exactly, and it's just so, the points are so crucial towards the end of the match when you find yourself with a 5-point lead as the seconds expire. Because just the smart conversion rate, and it's a guy you want on your side in Hunter.
And just a reliable stroke on the shot. You just know you're going to dump it into him, 10 feet away, he's going to put it in.
We can't get it through there, Morris, and puts it down with the and one. We won't credit the dunk with that, but he just got up high, rose above everyone else, and put it all back in the net.
All fighting for the rebound there. Dejar Dixon just a little bit unlucky on that one. He knew it too. He was just trying to go for that back end of the ball in the back of the hand, and missed, got the arm, and Morris to the stripe. Does not make it a 3-point play, almost the offensive rebound, but manages to knock it off the arm of Lockie Hunter, so the Mavs will regain possession.
Another smart play by Tom Cromartie. We saw him with a nice dish inside earlier in the game and a nice layup. Here's Stock, though. Daniel Stock gives it out, and Bold. He's got players on the inside, gives it to Cherry. Cherry might work his way through, decides not to, instead going to Bold. Shot doesn't fall, and Mount Gambier will respond.
Reston finding Hunter, he's directing some traffic, the big man directing things from the top of the key. Barker's got it, goes baseline, he's got to hop over Daly, but takes the foul, and we'll head to the foul line. Daly copped a bit of a knock running into the keyway, just kind of got in a little bit of a hurdle to I'm sure Contrell would have been able to easily leap over, but he'll leap his way to the foul line.
And Daly sensational in that first half as well. A huge contributor to the 13 fast break points that the Pioneers do have. 14 points to his name as well. He's been everywhere on the court, really leading in as an example.
The question mark will be in this second half is, can their run continue? As referee Daniel Troy heads to the Pioneers bench to provide a technical foul warning. Not sure who that was against,
against
but
the coach.
It was against the coach particularly? Yep. All right, Richard Hill will he'll keep an eye on that. Sometimes it's just nice to make a point heard when you're a coach if you're just not quite getting a point across. Just pushing that line a little bit just to make sure that you're being acknowledged. And Richard Hill's very experienced in that way.
And he's probably one of the best. He's got one of the best scouts in the competition as well. Richard Hill has quite a face. Pulls it out. There we go. Novian Cherry at the top gives it, and Stock will reload. Stock Inside and almost stolen. Morris has time now. Morris works inside, gives it back out, and losing possession.
That's off the leg of Thomas Cromartie. So they will lose.
Falls the other way.
It does. It does.
Barker getting one back.
Rathman controlling it for the Pioneers. Goes inside to Deja. And from a standing start, feet did not leave the ground. Nothing but net. Great shot from downtown Control Barkley, pushing this back out to a 10-point lead. Looked like a foul shot, didn't it?
Yeah, it was just the technique was flawless. It's like he was practicing that. But of course he was practicing that. There's Stock contested, rims off, and Pioneers will respond through Rathjen. Rathjen can put on the burners if he wants to. He does, and drives up, takes it to the foul line.
He's exciting, very exciting to watch. You know, when the ball is in hand, something is going to happen from Brad Rathjen. So he heads to the line for 2 shots, but he's been wonderful in this game tonight as well so far. He's had 9 points, couple of rebounds, couple of assists. He's been in absolutely everything, Brad Rathjen.
And as we said, he's come from college. He's had a college background, but is a Mount Gambier local. So just an exciting player to have in the Pioneers lineup, and probably a credit to the Mount Gambier Pioneers system as well, bringing up players in college quality and players that we know well.
And not just about getting their start and getting them getting to a skill level where they can go off to college, but getting them back again. That's the big call out, that he could go to any Premier League club, any second tier league around the country, whether it be NBL 1, whether it be the QBL or anywhere. But he's come back home, which is fantastic for Mount Gambier.
Inside, Daly almost makes it work. Tommy Daly just knows where the bucket is and knows how to put it there.
He has no fear. Absolutely no fear.
And McCoy coming back on.
And McGee in for the Mavs, going a bit bigger as Thomas Cromartie heads to the bench.
You can see the face of Hill behind that free throw, as he is looking there, talking to his troops, telling them what to do next. He's a great coach, and it's a pleasure to have him in the league. This is an interesting time now for the Mavericks. Still trailing by 13. They've just got to keep working, slowly grind it back. There's no rush. Just got to keep making stops on the defensive end and just putting points in on the other end. It's how you win games, isn't it?
I think so. We've touched on finance and other bits and pieces, and I'm really not good with numbers, but yeah, I believe so. As McGee falling away from the elbow, puts in points, bringing it back to an 11-point ball game here at St. Francis.
Devin McGee, an exciting player as well. And that shot looking good.
That rolls in. He's got the ball on the string. You're doing the hand signals, which nobody can see, but I know exactly what you're saying. He's really in.
And the steal as well. Now Gambier will break. Oh, it ends back in Jerry's hands. It's a bit of a scramble, diving on the floor there, and gets it in. Offensive rebound. Morris, strong, doesn't fall. Another offensive rebound. Cherry, another bite at it. Doesn't go, and it's been stolen again.
And stolen back.
Oh,
whoa, here we go. We've got a bit of push and shove here. This is things. It is hot. It is hot in the kitchen at the moment.
Hot in the kitchen. And as you see it, that's nice from McGee. We probably don't want to really rewatch what happened before that, because it was just a mess of it.
There was a lot going on. There was no control of the ball. There was pushing and shoving. There was offensive rebounds. There was missed baskets from underneath the basket, and just it was a dog's breakfast. But what we've got now is a sideline ball for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. Everybody can take a breath and get this restarted. Tom Daly to control things. Ball in hand to Tom Daly. Something good is going to come from this. Raston wide open on his left, goes the opposite side. McCoy goes baseline, goes reverse back over his head, just rims out, and the tip also missed by Deja Dixon. And Cherry goes the reverse. Fast-paced stuff from the Mavs in the third quarter, exactly what they need.
Here's Daly again. Gives the pass out. McCoy will shoot from the outside this time, and not too far away either. Sherry to bring it back up. As we said earlier, the only verified basketballer in the Premier League. And verified means the blue tick in Instagram for those older playing along tonight.
As McCoy puts that one in, we can put that one on Instagram and put the little love heart thing. I don't have Instagram. I didn't want to say it when you're talking about the old people that don't have Instagram because, well, my wife would certainly laugh at me about that one.
83 vintage, Alan Brown, and the foul is called on Brandon Morris.
I promise by next broadcast game, I will have got on the Instagram.
If it suits you. If it suits you.
I'll see how we go. We've got some substitutions here.
I should say, you've got some great selfies that would go nicely on the Instagram platform.
In fact, we should probably do one now while we've got the opportunity to do so.
No.
While we've got Brandon Morris at the line for 2 shots. We'll see if we can get him involved in this one as well. Let's see if we can get him as he's just about to shoot. Yeah, we got some good ones in there.
Morris shooting again. Not something you see often on a basketball court. Taking selfies from the commentators' booth.
Well, you got to be, you got to be good, multi-layered in any sort of business. As Tom Daly, who is definitely multi-layered, multi-talented, off the front of the iron there, and away go the Mavs. Up the court, finds his way to Sebastian Bold. He goes baseline, pops it back out. Black with the floater, and the Pioneers will take this one away.
Cromartie, sorry, that was, and coming up is Rathjen out, and here's Barkley. Barkley gives it back to the exciting Rathjen. He takes his time and doesn't fold though.
And Cromartie takes that one away, and I apologise for confusing him. I thought he went off, but he must be back.
He's back. Matt Black, of course, playing for the Pioneers, and stolen. This is big. Let's see what he can do here.
Oh! With authority, puts his stamp on that one. Massive throwdown from Contrell Barkley.
Fierce the whole way through. McGee working inside, doesn't fall, and it's hot potato up in there. But bringing it back up is Rathjen again. Rathjen sees the look, knew he had McCoy there.
He was in 2 minds there. I think he was either going to wrap around behind the back. We watched the replay from Barkley, throwing it down with an exclamation point.
An absolute hammer of a dunk. And all of a sudden, a 14-point lead now for the Pioneers. Morris at the top. Sizing up Barkley. Works inside, gets it over the top, but too powerful on it. Bounces back away. And Rathjen choosing to play point now. He drives all the way through and count it because he's going to the line for another one. You see that hammer jam again. It's just business.
It is, it'll be. Look at his face afterwards. He rises up, throws it down. He's like, yep, that's how it's done. 4 minutes and 12 seconds to play in this quarter.
You might have just heard Devin McGee earning his 4th foul of the match. Not great for the Mavericks or for Jason Warhurst. So we look at that dunk just again and again. But Brandon Morris and Novian Cherry also won 3 fouls. They have to be careful, as are Deja Dixon and Lockie Hunter. So a few players in potential foul trouble. We'll see what happens, but we're going to be back underway in a second with 4 minutes remaining in the term. 14-point lead. Fans are enjoying themselves. There's a lot to enjoy. It's been an exciting encounter.
Is this starting to slip away a little bit from the Eastern Mavericks? They've let this one balloon out to a 16-point lead, so getting closer to that 20-point mark. And once you hit that 20-point mark in any game, it's going to be really tough to find your way back. We're just about ready to get back into play. Brad Rathjen with 1 bonus shot.
And all of a sudden, Brad Rathjen has pushed up to 13 points. He's really proven the difference in the second half. Ooh, Bold nearly loses it. Decides to push inside and finds his man in Youngchuk. Here's Morris posting up, finds the space, working around Barkley. Morris is such a good basketballer to watch. He just does it again and again.
You can't say that he's too strong. He's just intelligent. He had the offensive set straight up. That was going to be down the moment he got the ball in hand. Much like Brad Rastian, who's generally got a pretty sweet touch on him. Just missing that one, but not getting that rebound there and popping it back out to Rastian, who goes again. And we'll go to the line, earning some free throws.
Yeah, it was a great offensive rebound there by McCoy as well, just tucking it under his arm and cannoning it back out for another 14 seconds of offensive basketball. And as you said, the match kind of slipping away for the Mavericks and Jason Warhurst. A side that showed a lot of promise in the early rounds. Not quite keeping up with the Pioneers here tonight. And you would think they had an opportunity, considering it's their second match in 2 days. They are missing 2 of their star players. But here's Stock pushing through, big offensive rebound from Youngchuk, and passes it out, comes off the legs of Hunter.
Just shows the sheer class, really, of the Mount Gambier Pioneers. The level of depth in their team, missing two stars like Burden and Daly as well. So they've been able to pick it back up and just really control this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Oh, the pass from Bold probably wasn't there. That was tough. And Pioneers players helping each other up. That's good basketball. Barkley on the outside this time. Feels it. Not what you expect from Barkley, but magnificent nonetheless.
And I'm sure he'll take it nonetheless. Great shot.
Here's Youngchuk, brings it inside. Morris just brilliant on the interior. We saw a man by the name of Bemo tear it up last night in Brian Moultrie, sorry. And Brandon Morris with similar initials. You could almost call him Bemo 2.0. We're seeing another Bemo on Sunday afternoon.
Bemos galore, especially up in the hills. As Morris completes the package. And they maintain that 16-point lead for the Pioneers. Objective is get it to back to 10 before the three-quarter time break.
And good pass out. Oh, and it's laid in.
Great control from Control Barkley. He was almost about to lose that.
You thought he wanted to put him on a poster though as well, but smart to readjust and just put the ball in the bucket and get the 2 points. Here's Youngchuk though at the top, gives it out to Stock. The captain looking for options, pushing inside with the floater, and it rattles out, but he'll go to the line for 2.
He's well earned that one. He looks to be in a little bit of discomfort.
And personally, I'd like to see Cherry come back on here. I think they need him. And with 2 fouls to give, 12 minutes to play, he's had 16 points, 12 rebounds and 3 assists. That's a good stat line already in the match that we've played so far. I think he needs to be on if the Mavs are going to consider themselves any chance.
I think Jason Warhurst will be keeping a close eye on the clock and the score differential. And if that gets back to, if they can get another stop here, another few points, injecting Cherry back to the game will be very crucial at that stage, that's for sure. Matt Black kicks it out to Hunter. Oh, stopped in his tracks against the backboard. Spectacular block by Morris, who kicks it out. No good on the shot from Matt Stock, but another second chance.
Cromartie nearly gets it. Doesn't feel it, but how about that from Morris? It's the second time we've seen him rip the ball out and just grab it. And that's neat though from Daly to kind of quell the pressure that was almost building up from that. We've seen now Stock bring it up and less noise from the Mavs audience. is Morris though. A highlight reel if there ever was one. And losing the ball though is Bold, and Rathjen will take that to the bank.
And there it is, 21 points now difference. Mavs very much so losing control of this ball game. Morris at the top of the key, just cops a bit of a knock on the way through. He'll skip along to the foul line for some easy shots. As Dylan Brown enters the ball game for the first time for Mount Gambier. And also back in the game for Eastern Mavericks. Brandon Morris has 2 shots.
Warhurst refusing to activate Cherry there. I'm quite interested really at that call. Has he given up the game?
I certainly don't think he would put it in those terms. I think from that perspective, he's looking at it from changing up the 5, running different sets and seeing what he can get from his other players. So, but we've got the Pioneers in control now. Matt Black with Rathjen now, kicks it out. And with very little lift off the floor from Control Barkley, but rebounded by Hunter. Back to Bar. Oh, well, that was almost certainly something pretty spectacular from Control Barkley. But takes the contact, misses the shot, and we'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Morris almost saying to the referees, what can I do to stop Barkley? Because he's having a night as well, Control Barkley. That pushes him out to 24 points.
The only thing that's going to stop Control Barkley is probably a tranquilizer dart to the butt cheek. That's pretty much all he's got, all the only opportunity he's got to even slow him down. He is just spectacular.
And just motoring along too, accumulating points throughout the game. Morris working inside, and the J doesn't fall. Morris has to be careful now, of course, on 4 personals. Here's the move forward, getting it in, Dylan Brown.
No relation, unfortunately for him.
I think Alan just gets excited whenever he hears a Brown is playing.
I do actually. I was just like, I think, well, there's someone with my namesake out there on court doing what I can't.
Inside is John Shook, pushes in, gets around Kentrell Barkley, and no foul called on Morris. Hunter looking for one. And with 4 seconds remaining in the term, our man, Novian Cherry, comes on for a big defensive play that will inevitably not take place.
Rathjen really getting close to the basket. He's going to get it in on the siren of 3/4 time. Really poor checking from the Eastern Mavericks. Allowed Brad Rathjen straight through, one end to the other. Only took him 4 seconds to travel the 30 meters to the basket and rolled it home at the stroke. 3/4 time and a massive lead now for the Mount Gambier Pioneers, 26 points.
And just looking at this Mavericks outfit, they just look dejected. The coach is standing away, talking through the tactics. Jason Warhurst, there just doesn't seem to be that cohesion in the team now that they've lost the lead, and it's disappointing to see. Hopefully they show something in this final term, but it just hasn't looked like it, especially after that quarter where they were outscored 13-29.
That's a massive letdown on defense. Really, you're just going to throw yourself right into the losers list if you're letting in that many points and not putting it on the scoreboard yourself. We saw it in the girls' game where it was high scoring. It was basically high scoring at both ends. It wasn't so much poor defensive work, it was just high rate of scoring. Mavs scoring stopped in this particular quarter that we've just seen, which has really put them in the hole they're in right now.
Yeah, and the Pioneers, though, we should give credit to them. On 85 now at 3/4 time. Barkley 23, Daly 20, and Rathjen 16. You've got Hunter on 10 as well. He was great in that first half. He's got a double-double now too with 10 rebounds and 3 blocks too to go with that. It's sensational performance all around from the Pioneers, showing that they can do no wrong really without their two of their star players, Eric Burden and Sam Daly.
And consider last night they only scored 84 points for 4 quarters of basketball. To be at 85 at 3/4 time, they've learned their lesson from last night's game and are making a real point in this game to make sure that they put that scoreboard pressure on, and they have done that from the outset. It's all about going through your emotions. If you're an Eastern Mavericks player, you've got to do what you know to do. Get the ball to the basket. Basically, there's not much more you can really talk about. They've given it absolutely everything in this first 3 quarters. Let's hope we can see a bit more from them in this final quarter. A lot of upside still. They've had some great players from guys like from Cherry, as well as McGee has been super spectacular. Matt Stock has led the team very well, so there's certainly some real positives for the Eastern Mavericks. They can't just take the loss and go, well, that was a waste of time. It was certainly very, very good from all accounts.
We're back, though, for quarter 4 of this match. And a bit of the air has been taken out of it after that dominant third term from the Mount Gambier Pioneers, really taking ascendancy in the Battle of the Mount tonight. And starting where he started, Tom Daly looking likely there, and denying that is Barkley, keeps it alive, and Deja Dixon takes it up and gives it back to Barkley, charges up the court. Barkley, and denied by Devin McGee. Gets up and slaps that off the backboard. The Mavs pushing back up, McGee loses it, and probably shouldn't have been kept alive from Deja Dixon because the Mavs are going to get it back.
Great block and floor coverage from Devin McGee, who lost the ball down the other end. Could have just sort of ambled his way back up the court, but spread the court real quick, got down there and just knocked that ball away. Even at 20-odd points down, that's just great dedication to the defensive effort.
Unfortunately loses it again, and it's a bit of a scramble. They keep it alive by the Mavs. Shot clock resets, and losing the ball is Vozo. And bringing it up to the Pioneers again. They're relentless. Mount Gambier. Daly behind the back scoop. Probably an accident. There's Bold losing the ball as well. It's a bit of... They've greased up the ball at 3/4 time, but it doesn't affect Bozo. He hits his first 3 of the night.
It's coming into the afternoon, a bit of dew out there probably. Well, probably not because we're indoors, but Daly bringing the ball up for the Pioneers. Swings around to Barkley, back to Daly. Looking for a way through. Again. another lapse in concentration.
Oh, and that's a poor pass too.
This hasn't been our finest couple of minute and a half of basketball, that's for sure. But
frustration on the faces of these Mavericks players.
And Richard Hill has certainly seen enough, so he's going to bring them in to have a bit of a chat about looking after the ball a little bit better than.
You can only imagine what Richard Hill is going to say here.
I don't think we can broadcast what we could imagine, to be honest with you. I don't think we'll be in a good position after that. But we have got 8 minutes and 38 seconds to play in this game. And the Mount Gambier Pioneers are well and truly in control, 24 points up. If you are Jason Warhurst, it's tough to get a positive message out there rather than just keep trying, just keep pushing, go through our sets and get things done.
Yeah, if you're Warhurst, you just need to be respectable here. As much as a cop out that can sometimes be, they have to just get the most out of these players. They're certainly getting the most out of their imports, and a couple of the starters have been good as well. But they just need more from those fellow youngsters, and just really filling up that starting 5 and the bench players as well, giving them options going ahead, because at the moment it doesn't look like they have too many, and if they drop to 2 and 8 and stay in that bottom 3, it doesn't do them any favours, especially considering they were considered a great chance at finals after a few rounds, when they just showed teams that they were dynamic and capable of taking on the big guns.
And these sorts of patches can certainly happen, and all it takes is one game to turn it around. So we want to see them continue to go through their offensive sets and make things happen as Dylan Brown goes from downtown, but rims out on that occasion, and away go the Mavs.
Dylan Brown.
Let's give him that just yet. We'll just hold off until he knocks a couple of down, then we can pass the moniker on.
For sure. Here's Bozo, decides to go himself, hits his second consecutive. Seth Bozo doing what the Mavs haven't been able to do for much of this encounter.
Hey, you got to earn the downtown. That's what you got to do. You got to earn it.
A little bit of a screen there. And here's Barkley going to work on Cherry. Passed it out. Great pass, but working inside instead. Only one.
Vozo got a little bit excited there. Thought he could get up and get that ball away from Deja Dixon, but he was very mistaken. Yeah, a very low percentage effort of a block.
Kind of grazed the head of Deja Dixon, didn't get close to the hands. And that's just money for Deja. Converts the three-point play. And now Gambier cruising along nicely here at St. Francis de Sales.
Ball driving hard and puts it in. Great drive, super strength. Great drive to the basket from Sebastian Bold. Really showing his teammates how it's done.
And Daly, like lightning, saw which way Vozo was guessing and went the other.
And we've got a possible delay of game warning. We've had a lot of warnings. No trigger has been pulled as yet.
And saving time on the Mavericks. They're going to need a lot of it to catch up this deficit. Bold gives it to Cherry. And Cherry to Vozo. Vozo steps out, steps back in, looks for the pass, doesn't instead. Gets the ball in. That's nice to accept Vozo.
Great composure. And speaking of composure, Daly round to Brown. The lob that he was not quite ready for that one. And Deja Dixon loses the ball out of bounds from the pass from Dallin Brown. Pardon me.
Clean from Vozo. We were talking about players stepping up from their bench and like auditioning for more minutes. And he's certainly doing so, said Vozo. Here he is again. Looking to control things, gives it out. And out the corner is Stock, the captain. And Vozo might have a chance here. Gets him off his feet. Stock to punish them. Doesn't quite. And the bullet pass gives it to Daly. Daly gets up and tips it in. The finger roll is delightful.
And great knowing of the presence oncoming. He knew that player was coming behind him, so did not leave himself open for a big swat out of bounds. Great finish from Tom Daly.
Vozo again puts it up. Sinks it. Said Vozo in the fourth quarter cameo for the Mavericks, scoring when the rest of his team can't seem to find the can't seem to find any of the basket, to be honest. Here's Rastian looking to respond, sandwiches himself between two players, grabs the offensive rebounds, passes it to Deja. And he's not missing as soon as he gets up there.
He's just super strong under the basket. Don't even get up. Don't contest. It's going to go down nonetheless.
Here's Devin McGee. Bullet pass out and taking the shot and feeling it is Seb Bold. They don't look too bad, these young Mavericks.
And this is exactly what Jason Warhurst would be wanting to see. The effort coming from the young fellas from off the bench, putting the minutes on and making, like you say, making the minutes to be earned and putting their hands up for more time in future games.
And Cherry back on the bench. Still unsure about that. We see Morris to return though.
We're back to 21 points, and we say back to 21 points, and it's been out to almost 30, so there's Lockie Hunter missing that one. He's ruining his great field goal percentage from earlier in the game, but when he's wide open, he's going to take those shots. Devin McGee gathers the ball, jump shot from just outside the foul line extension, and the Pioneers will take this one away, moving it up. Barkley kicks it into the corner, gets it back from McCoy, swings it around. It's now with Rathjen. He loses the handle off the back of his leg, and away go the Mavs. Loses the handle, but finishes it with a nice flush. And Brandon Morris adding to his tally.
Yeah, dominant game for Morris. And stripping him is Stock, justifying his place in the 5. Oh, and the McGee! Alley-oop! Devin!
That was delightful from Devon. That was something else. That's the kind of lunch meat you'd pop in your lunchbox and have it every single day. Devon's like Fritz. But that's...
I just didn't have words. That's a monumental dunk from Devin McGee. Putting it up is Matt Stock and flushing it down.
Just perfect placement of the alley-oop pass. And just that awareness, that connection between player and player, knowing where they're going to be, knowing how high McGee can get up for a highlight reel dunk. And it's back you know, we say it's still 17 points, but it's still not unassailable. It's definitely not.
It's not, and it's interesting to see. I was questioning why they had Stock on the court rather than Cherry, but Stock proved himself there, getting the steal, putting up the alley-oop pass. Sometimes it's better to have your captain leading from the front on the court rather than perhaps input. But Warhurst knows what he's doing. He's coaching there, and he's found a way back into this encounter. So,
and Boulder's definitely a pass-first guard when it comes down to running their offensive set. You're wanting that drive to the basket and that presence under the basket from a run and gun style Novian Cherry. He's going to run those lanes real hard, but to find the offensive set, to find players loose like McGee was found just before, that's where you get a lot of value out of Matt Stock.
Of course, Rafton out now. Rafton looking for options and finds McCoy back on court. And he's got McGee on skates. Rafton doesn't fall though, and Bozo bringing it back up. He's been good in this last term. And moving inside. Nice passing out, gives it a Stock to Bold. Bold hit one earlier, decided to drive inside. Probably wasn't the best option. And bringing it back up. Oh, and it's nearly...
That was very, very close to being McGee on a poster, but he just missed the swinging arm and decided to go with a little light touch finger roll.
Nearly spread McGee out on toast there. Brandon Morris can't find a way inside.
And it's going to be before the shot, so that they'll get a chance to reset. Crucial offense. They've got to get those points back. They are very, very close from bringing this right back.
We've seen Hill call multiple timeouts already this term. Not happy with the way his Pioneers are producing, and it's kind of been led by some of the locals as well. Stock has been great, so has Bold and Bozo. But here's Daly, gets fouled. We'll go to the line.
And I think we've got a dislocation on that little finger of Brandon Morris. He grabbed at it straight away as soon as that ball got tipped away. Might have just popped it back in just real briefly there, so it doesn't look into too much discomfort, but it looks a bit wonky.
I think it's just basketball's fingers. Basketballer's fingers.
I don't think he'll ever play the piano again, unless he could play it. Unless he couldn't play it before, because then it really doesn't matter.
It gives you greater range though when you dislocate your fingers, because you can hit that note further to the side.
As Daly makes no mistake from the foul line. This is back to a 20-point lead. It was very close, very closely set up to be a 10-point ball game on the back of an offense that just did not happen. As Seb Bold lights it up from downtown.
And you just wonder if he had took that three-pointer earlier and hadn't drive, would we be seeing a closer encounter here?
A great move to the basket from Tom Daly, just showing what leaders should do. Putting the ball on the floor, making things happen.
And off comes Devin McGee, fifth personal. He's had a good role tonight, probably highlighted by that alley-oop dunk. Probably we would have liked to do more, to be honest. Reading his stat line, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a block and an alley-oop. So coming on again is Cherry, and this is really it for the Mavericks.
As Daly knocks that one down, it's going to be awful difficult. I mean, to knock in 20 points unanswered in 3 minutes, it's not in the realm of impossibility, but it's knocking on the door. As the Pioneers take this one away, running still is Tom Daly. And Lockie Hunter with a quick put back. That's been the Pioneers game all the way through from the very first tip-off right to now. Run, run, run. And they have run the Mavs off their feet, bringing out the ton with that shot from Lockie Hunter.
A dominant offensive display. Bold, drives in, doesn't get the foul call. And Barkley bringing it up, but as we said, just dominance from the men in green. And here's a 3-ball from Daly. That would be quite a cherry on top.
the perfect captain's game from Tom Daly tonight, that's for sure.
Has led from the front. Maybe not. The stats are there too, to be honest. 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. But he's just been everywhere. Has passed where it needs to be passed, and shot where it needs to be shot. Been smart with his possessions. 10 from 19 from the field. He's just. Is he the best captain in the league?
He's got to be. He's one of my favourite captains of the Premier League. Absolutely. Just for his the way he goes about his business, what he's achieved over his time playing Premier League, playing Seaball, and his venture with the Adelaide 36ers for a few seasons there as well. He's a top fella, a great leader, and an excellent basketball player.
Here's Bozzo on the outside. Will drive inside. Probably doesn't have anything on. Kicks it out. And driving inside again. This time, Jack Traherne will go to the line.
As Ajad Dixon comes back into the ball game, giving a well-earned rest to Control Barkley. He's had a big game as well. Double-double from Control.
Certainly has. Worthy of a stat line mention. Control Barkley putting up 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists and 4 steals to go alongside that. Been a successful night for the successful day for the Pioneers, and they'll head back to Mount Gambier. Not content considering they lost last night, but they'll be satisfied. They'll keep their spot in the top 5 for now.
And to do it without a full list as well is a big achievement for them.
Oh, and nearly blocked by Bold. That was Bold from Bold.
That was Bold from Bold on the ball.
And Bold comes off. SC Deja's form from the line.
And almost gets an air ball again. We almost had deja vu.
It just kind of stops when he's going through his motion. Interesting technique.
Not one of the worst techniques I've seen, but certainly not textbook, that's for sure. And speaking about textbook, oh, and he cops the hard foul. You got to earn it when you get through that easily, I suppose.
Morris could put up 30 if he converts this to free throws. It's been quite a night for him.
You can certainly see why he's leading the league in points per game. He has been electric and a real shining light for the Mavs in this game as he misses that first attempt.
And he knows his chance at 30 is now less. Slaps his hand. But Morris now looking to put it in.
And gets the lucky roll, a couple of bounces around the rim, and it drops in for his 29th point of the afternoon.
Daly still on court, gets fouled by Bozzo, who shows his displeasure. And Daly remaining on the court, really just leading this game. But he'll go to the line for 2 more as well.
Bozzo back from his trip up north to Townsville, representing under-18 country, and doing a pretty good job as well. Future star of the Premier League. And with his little cameo in this 4th quarter, we can certainly see why.
And bringing it back up is Traherne, earning these final few minutes. Working inside is Novian Cherry, but losing the ball is also Novian Cherry. Bringing it up is Daly. Daly might look to add to the highlight reel here. Doesn't, but the big O board gets put back in. Mitchell Hunter there. Bozzo now looking for options. The SA country boy gives it out to Yonchuk, and he'll put it up from the elbow, contested, rattles out, nearly rebounded by the shortest man on the court.
Just a bit of a misjudgment on the rebound from Malak McCoy, so it just almost opened the door there for Jack Traherne to nip in and steal that one from right underneath his nose, but out of bounds and picked back up by the Pioneers, who will take control through Brad Rathjen. And
the pass out, Rathjen again. looking lively. Has to get past Morris though. Instead, kicks it out. This is Hunter. And puts it in. Mitchell Hunter, consecutive baskets for the youngster. Now Morris pushing in and off the glass, can't get it to fall. It's anyone's ball and well played there. Matt Black, then loses it and it rolls into the feet of Alan Brown. Well played.
Patrick didn't thank me though, but that's okay. He's all business, Patrick Yoni. So
you can hear
good on you.
You can hear the disappointment in Alan's voice. He's crushed. Here's Traherne though. Traherne might pass it out, decides to go in. And Yonchuk has the matchup and it floats around, eventually goes in off their hands.
That's why he's all business, Patrick Yonchuk. So.
And coming back on is Dylan Brown. Sporting that Mount Gambier look. Plenty of timber industries going on well down there. It looks a bit like a lumberjack.
He does. It looks like a tree too. He's
in the cream. Oh, and another great play there from Mitchell Hunter. We'll go to the line. That's Matt Black. Apologies.
And Lockie Hunter will make his way back onto the court for his final 39 seconds. And a big game from Deja Dixon. He has been a presence right throughout.
Yeah, of course. Deja Dixon, he hasn't filled up the stats as he has in the past, but just been dominant on the inside and a couple of nice dunks there too. Really,
yeah, and being a presence. Yeah, absolutely right. Being a presence as well, just making it difficult for the Mavs players to get through and to get easy baskets.
And speaking of a presence, Morris gives it to Cherry, and a little bit of a hand in there means that one doesn't go in. And not looking forward is Black. He had McCoy on the outlet, and getting it back is Yonchuk with 20 seconds behind the back. Delicious gives it out to Traherne. Traherne to Vozo. He'll take it. He's been hot from the three-point line, and he calls a tech. A little bit too emotive there from Vozo. Probably didn't need to be as well. We've got 13 seconds in the game left. We're trailing by 21. Not sure you need to go back and demonstrate with the referee there.
A bit of frustration, a bit of passion from the young man. He's had a cracking afternoon. He's jumped on and he's done his job. Great cameo performance, and especially in this last quarter. I did hear a slap, which could have been a hand from this angle. We wouldn't have known. To look behind you at referee Mark Frost and ask the question from that position, it's
a bit rich.
He hasn't got X-ray vision, so it's not going to work out well for Vozo in that capacity. So, final 10 seconds as we count it down here at St. Francis de Sales. It is a big win, 22 points for the Mount Gambier Pioneers. They will split their weekend fixture. A loss last night, but making up for it this afternoon. 22-point winners over the Eastern Mavericks. They had a cracking game from Daly and from Barkley as well, Benito.
Yeah, dominant there. Mount Gambier just proving too much for the Mavericks at their new home at St. Francis de Sales. Morris was strong for the Mavs, but he didn't have much support. And down the stretch, they just kind of faded. Mount Gambier pulling ahead in that premiership third quarter, and really just pulling it, cruising it through to the end. It's been a confident performance from the Pioneers, and we will probably be seeing them towards the latter end of the year in these crucial finals matches that will be coming up.
Absolutely right. So that just about wraps things up here at St. Francis de Sales. We'll be back for some more Premier League action on June the 2nd. That is an afternoon game from Wayville, where we will watch the Forestville Eagles take on the North Adelaide Rockets. That'll be a cracking fixture, so make sure you tune in. Thanks for being here, and big thank you to the State Technics and Akaran Blimp outside, showing us a beautiful view of St. Francis de Sales. It's an absolute beautiful area and a wonderful building as well. So thanks so much for tuning in, folks. On behalf of Benito and myself, and a big thank you to Spacequake Sports. We'll see you next time. Good night.